is up, you guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Spectator Drag Hub. Who do we have here?
Matt DeRogers, aka MattManZ28 on TikTok. See my boy Kurt here?
Yeah, Dirty Curdy. Can you show us the door on this thing real quick?
Sure. I drive a 1958 Kludge. Kludge is when you take what you have around you to make something work, not necessarily what you need.
Coming since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to race.
Come here once, you're gonna be coming back every time.
I love this place.
To have fun.
To have fun.
It's all about.
I bought this car to have fun. I've had it for 9 years, and doing the Spectator Drags is some of the most fun I've ever had with anything.
I'd be here anyways, and it's a little bit more to race, so why not?
I'm here to have fun and do what I legally can't do on the street.
You're on the channel. Are you ready for some racing?
Yes.
All right, let's go. You gonna gap some Teslas out there?
Yeah, hopefully. I love it. I love going fast. I love the fans.
Mike Vincent.
And what are you driving?
This is a Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4.
Here comes Vincent Wood. What is up, you guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Spectator Drag Hub. I wanted to make this little sit-down video to officially introduce you guys to the channel, and I'm so excited, so grateful, and just so happy to share this with you guys. And this is a huge milestone, a huge stepping stone in building this community, this movement together, building up Spectator Drags. And so in this video, I'm going to kind of unpack with you guys some of the key components to this channel, and I'm going to try and share as much as possible. Of course, this is one kind of sit-down video, but really, we're gonna kind of get into the why behind the Spectator Drags. Why me? Who's this guy? Why am I the link to sharing this to you guys? And also, kind of what the the future plans are, and what to expect from the Spectator Drag Hub, and to really give a thanks to everybody who have put in so much effort and have led to this point where I now have the ability to share this with you guys. So as I try and unpack as much as possible here, I made a whole notes page. I'm very organized with the structure of how I go about this, and I'm gonna kind of look back and forth to make sure that I don't miss anything out to share with you. So really, to start off with the why. The why is the biggest part of any channel, business, movement, idea, and really the purpose behind the Spectator Drag Hub. So to start off, people cannot stop watching Spectator Drags. This brings so much excitement, gives them something to look forward to. It brings in the competitive nature of racing that we all know and love, and there are so many unknown factors involved in the Spectator Drags, because these are street cars. These are cars that you could see on the roads. There's more connection to these cars and the drivers, because anyone can compete, and even the viewers can see themselves in this as well. There's not a disconnect within this style racing. People are always engaged, excited, It's a crowd thrilling form of motorsports and racing, and it's also you know, such a small town, small track thing that is just kind of getting the push to be exposed to the world and go international. It's you know, such a sweet spot in the automotive world, and this is something that I picked up on over the years as I shared this with you guys through tberg Media, and I noticed that, you know, that Spectator Drags is such a sweet spot in the automotive world and motorsports, and you know, it's not oversaturated, which is super cool because it's now getting the push that it needed. Well, whether it needed it or not, we're sending it. We're sending it together as a team, and we're bringing this across the world. And I'm so grateful that I have the ability to do that. So yes, people feel more connected to these cars, to the drivers. There's not a bland field of cars that are kind of copy and paste. These are the spectator drags, the everyday cars that bring in excitement, and like, you never know, what are you gonna see, like a Fiat or a PT Cruiser lined up against a Corvette or a GTR? Like, that's pretty exciting to see. Like, the you know, there's so many factors that are constantly changing and keep you engaged, and you know, it's also exciting for the drivers to put their street cars out and test their abilities and progress over time. It's so cool to see, as long as I've been filming and capturing this for you guys, the drivers who are top competitors out there now who, you know, did not start that way, as in anything, you know, practice makes perfect, right? So, you know, yes, it's a sweet spot in the algorithms. I've personally, you know, and I'll get a little more into this as well, I've personally been investing at kind of a business standpoint, even though it's always been for fun, since I was around 7 years old, where I had a disposable camera put into my hands from my dad, who started bringing me to the action track of the East, Seekonk Speedway. And so from a business standpoint, I've progressed from that time on with the excitement that I had capturing this stuff, and, you know, then moving to sharing with you guys, creating these videos. And so I've put a lot of time into this, and it's now part of me, honestly, and I'll get a little more into that after I go over the why of the Spectator Drag Hub. And I'm always thinking in the larger perspective of, you know, where we can bring this to, and what kind of value it provides, and the impact, right? The impact. So really, and this is super cool because, you know, aside from the entertainment value, spectator drags can keep people off the streets, give them a safe place to participate in what otherwise would be illegal activities. This decreases, I'm not saying there's not still going to be some here, well, obviously it'll still happen, but this decreases street racing, swinging cars in parking lots, and the street takeovers that happen, that so many lawmakers are trying to control. Spectator drags is actually a solution to this stuff because it fills the adrenaline rush that these drivers get, where they can go out, race their cars, do some burnouts, donuts on the track in front of all the fans, and it also gives them a spotlight, you know, a driver spotlight, where they, like I said, they have all these fans watching them out there, and it's also going online now and across the world on the internet, where it gives them something to look forward to, motivation, something to kind of fill that excitement and that adrenaline rush, and something to progress and to look forward to, you know, on the weekends, race day. And that's super cool. And, you know, it's a small town thing that a very limited amount of people and drivers have caught on to over the years. And now it's going international, and it has the ability to be a solution to these issues, right? These illegal activities, which is something that you know, is in a larger scale vision and solution, and aside from the entertainment value that it provides. So yes, it decreases crime, it builds communities, it brings people together. Drivers have made some of the best friendships, relationships, by just going out there and having fun and enjoying each other's company and competing together. And it's also a huge solution, and this is kind of probably overlooked too, but I would say because it gives people motivation of something to look forward to and build towards, and purpose, you know, something, hey, you know, people could be going through a rough time and, you know, working day in and day out, and this gives them something to look forward to on the weekends. Go out with your buddies, go racing, and it's a huge solution to mental health too, because it provides that purpose and something to look forward to, the motivation, which is super cool, and a huge part of it that's probably overlooked. So that was pretty much a lot to unpack. Really, with the why of this channel is to take spectator drag racing to the next level. And you know, I'm so grateful that I had the ability to grow and to kind of build tberg media over the years, and I absolutely will keep doing that. But people love spectator drags. They don't want tberg media. They want spectator drags. So this is for you guys. The Spectator Drag Hub is the biggest, the first spectator drag driven media company, right? Highlighting tracks, drivers, giving back to fans, giving back to the tracks and drivers, you know, across the world. Okay, so to transition from there, I'm gonna kind of briefly give you guys a little bit about myself, you know, creating this connection with you guys, and to kind of tell you guys, you know, why I am the link to bringing spectator drags to the next level. So, why me? Why me? Why this guy? I have become very passionate about the sport. It's something that I started at such a young age, and I enjoyed seeing. It gave me something to look forward to on the weekends, and to, you know, I'm so grateful my dad shared that with me, and it gave us something to enjoy together. And I truly, you know, this is interesting to consider too, like as a kid, when you're kind of just the observer taking in, and you don't have, like, you know, the built constructs of society, what you should look forward to, what you should enjoy. I loved spectator drags because of all those unknown factors that keep you engaged, excited, and so that stuck with me. And when my dad, you know, had me on that disposable camera clicking away, it built over time and it progressed. I have a photo album back home dedicated to spectator drags, marked 2008 to 2009, where I have disposable images of spectator drags. And the coolest thing too is some of the drivers in those photos are still out there competing today. How cool is that? That, you know, it just goes to show how addicting and how much of a blast it is for these guys to get out there, have fun, enjoy this together, and you know, that's what it's all about. So as I said, spectator drags and going to Seekonk Speedway, it gave me something to look forward to over the summer. And then came the winter season of depression. I'm kidding. But you know, it always stuck with me to some capacity. And I think it's very telling as well that recently this year I moved 1,200 miles away, all the way down to Florida, and I still can't get away from it. You guys will love that. But you know, I travel back and forth and invest so much time and money in capturing the videos for you guys to share with the drivers, the tracks for you guys. And I couldn't be more happy to do it, and just know that it's all with a larger vision in mind, to grow together. And so that just, is super cool to share with you guys. And like I said, moving 1,200 miles away, I couldn't get away from this stuff, all right? And another reason why I am, and I say this as humbly as possible, why I am the person to be this link, in building together, is because I've recognized that this is something bigger than me. It's bigger than me. This is about something that has an impact on the world, and to really become a huge thing in the automotive and motorsports community. And I recognize that I'm no better than anyone. I now have the ability to do what I do because of the people that really have paved the way, put in the man hours, put in the work over time to get to this point where I now have the ability to share this with you guys. And so I humbly, recognize that this is bigger than me, and that together as a team, we are going to grow this and take it as far as possible. And to kind of add on to that, I also, with the competitive nature of the sport, and everything that kind of the small town, small track brings with it, I always stand a middle ground, even with all the drama, the egos, and that's something that I've always tried to at least hold myself to standing a middle ground, to hear everybody out, to kind of be the voice of reason half the time, even though I don't need to be. And that's super important in growing, really as a person and a business and a channel, right? To always keep a middle ground, and to not make others feel that you're better than them. Everyone is worthy, and everyone just wants their voice to be heard, right? So I always keep a middle ground, don't feed into the drama, the egos. It's kind of funny, you guys will kind of get a kick out of this, but one thing my dad always says over the years is that Seekonk Speedway, the old saying was, you come to a fight and a race might break out, right? And that is just so classic. And so there's going to be the competitive nature. You're going to have some, I think that really the solution here is just to keep the larger perspective in mind, that this has value and an impact to it. And it's, on the track, it's about getting to the finish line, beating that other driver. But as a whole, it's not about that. It's about going up together and not being the guy to beat the other person to the finish line. Because together we make this impact. And so any small-minded pettiness, egos, drama, I stay away from that. And together we have the power to make this impact. And it's never been about the money for me. As I said, I have such a connection to this from at such a young age, to the point where it's all been out of love and fun, and that's what it's all about. And the coolest thing when growing a business is to not chase the hype, the clout, the money, this, that, but to truly have a connection to your impact and growing the sport. And there's really no better feeling than being invested. Your time and energy, as priceless as it's been over the years, to start seeing the results, and to be so connected over so much time. And it's never been about the money, like I said. And that's the best part for me as a person, and to share this with you guys. So yeah, like I said, there's been a lot of sacrifices made over the years, a lot of time and energy spent, and I've done it all out of love. And you know, there's been a lot of investing, traveling, filming over the years. I've strived to be a better videographer, a better editor, marketer, promoter, with everything that I've learned up to this point over the years. I've learned so much, and I recognize that, you know, I also have so much more to learn. And that's super huge too, to continue to be a student, right? Like, I don't know it all, and you know, I'm just looking forward to growing with you guys, because we're a team. We're a team together, taking this to the next step. Another thing that's pretty cool about myself is that I'm not just a kid behind the camera who's obsessed with cars and racing. I have, you know, I'd like to think I have a little more value outside of that to provide for you guys, and really with where my goals sit in my impact to the world. And so, you know, I'm not just like a kid filming the races and going back home to my hole being antisocial and whatnot, which is all right too, but I truly have more value to provide with the larger scale in mind. And not to get too much into it, but I'll give you guys kind of a brief summarization of where, you know, coming out of high school, I think when it came down to, you know, society pressuring me to decide what do I want to do when I get out of school, the structure, right? And I remember I have a video where I said this too, from like 5 years back, which is super, super cool. Maybe it was like 4 years back, but I said that, you know, I had a shift where I imagined myself getting out on the track at Seekonk Speedway and competing and racing. But I had a shift where I realized, you know, I'm passionate about being behind the camera and capturing it to share with the drivers, with the tracks, with you guys. Film was just kind of the step before getting in the whole car racing aspect. Like, I pictured myself getting out on the track and racing once I turn 18, which is, you know, what you have to be to get in the Spectator Drags. And of course that's not a career, but that's just kind of what I envisioned. Recording the Spectator Drags and then getting on the track. Vine had already died out, so I wasn't editing a lot. But in the back of my mind, I always knew I wanted to kind of expand what I was putting out there, the content, the editing. And, you know, that's super cool that I had that mindset even back then, you know, and it's just progressed over time. And you know, so that was coming out of high school, and through college I spent a couple years at a school that was just miles down the road from the Speedway, which was super cool. Not so cool in the winter though, right? But so, you know, I remember I even did like a don't hopefully no one here will take this idea at this point in the video, but I'm messing with you. But I think I made like a documentary film script for the Spectator Drags becoming a series, you know, and this is something that the drivers kind of joked about over the years, and oh, the Discovery Channel needs to pick this up, you know, we're taking it worldwide. And I did, you know, and that just goes to show how connected and how it's become a part of me, how connected I am to it, where even with little school projects, I'm like writing a script on a series for the Spectator Drags, which highlights the drivers and goes behind the scenes with them. And so that is really cool. So transitioning from there, that was college. I'm still kind of have the pressure of, you know, what do I want to do with my life and my impact and what motivates me. And, you know, like I said, Spectator Drags always seemed to be something on the side that I stuck with. Up here, I'm thinking, oh, it's always just going to be something on the side, you know, that I enjoy doing because I love it. I love sharing it, but there's going to be something else that I need to build for myself, right? And I couldn't be far from wrong, right? So anyways, you know, I had transferred into a new school for film, and the C word hit that spring, and I went back home. I took a leave. I pretty much dropped out, you know, from college after a few years, and I kind of fell into a slump, you know. I was unmotivated. Of course, funny enough, the track was closed that year, and I was kind of just falling into, you know, just kind of drifting through life, not motivated, falling into bad habits. Well, not bad habits, but just like a lack of motivation. And so I was bussing tables at a restaurant that next fall, and I ended up running into a fellow content creator who's built up on YouTube that's from my hometown. And he, you know, led me to hop on a call with him for a YouTube course. And really, I ended up investing into a pretty high-ticket program, a mentoring program that he had built to, and this is the biggest thing that I've taken from that. It was based on mindset, growing your mindset, and business as well, and, you know, YouTube and how these algorithms work from a general standpoint. And that was a major stepping stone into, you know, the person I've become. Of course, there's values that I've learned, you know, from my family and just throughout life even before that, but that was a huge stepping stone in really coming to the realization that, you know, our thoughts are things. So we can pick and choose which ones we want to adopt, and we don't need to identify with those thoughts, right? So that was a huge step into, you know, taking control of your reality, where your time is spent, you know, the narrative that you play up here about yourself. And so that goes into, you know, the same talk about the value that I want to provide for other people too. And that's a whole nother conversation outside of the racing stuff, but it is a huge part to take notice of, because, you know, that gave me the power to really take this on and become in the best headspace to take this next step with you guys. And, you know, I couldn't be more excited and honored to be that link to share this together. And to finish off with the why me part, you know, I'm not doing this for any notoriety, for any clout hype. It's always been something I've been passionate about doing. And, you know, I recognize that people are power. You know, I may be a one-man media team, but I couldn't do what I do without the people putting in the man hours, as I said, the drivers getting out there from race to race, year to year, and, you know, all the staff, the management, the owners, and I'll be getting into the thank yous at the end of this video, but I couldn't do what I do without that. And so aside from me being a one-man media team right now, at least, there's a whole team of people that have led to this point and that make this all possible. So moving on from that, we are getting into what to expect with the Spectator Drag Hub. What's coming next? What can you guys expect from this channel? So we are going to be touring short tracks, circle tracks across the country, highlighting and filming Spectator Drags. And that starts with Seekonk Speedway, where it all started. And I can't wait to share that with you guys. This channel is going to be highlighting those tracks, the drivers, the fans along the way, spreading the love as much as we can, and you're gonna see my face more. You know, you're gonna see my face more behind the scenes, the faces of the people who make this all happen. Of course, some people aren't as comfortable on the camera. I couldn't even speak in a room by myself a couple years ago, so I know how it is. And you know, my mission with this channel is to highlight the tracks, the people, to give back. I'll be sharing vlogs on this channel which give you guys kind of those behind the scenes, take you trackside, and give you kind of just, you know, bonus content aside from the races that I would normally post on tberg media. I'll also be sharing full-length Spectator Drag videos on here, just the races as well, aside from the vlogs. I'll probably go over some of the old footage too, and then share that on here, and yeah, tberg can claim copyright on that. And I'd also be open to work with other videographers too that capture it if they'd like to be highlighted on the channel, which would be super cool. Something to share together. And I'll also be doubling down on short form content, because that's where, you know, short form content is king right now. So giving some love to the Spectator Drags, right? Having Spectator Drags get in on that short form content, growing the impact, the exposure. So I'll be posting some shorts on here as well, aside from the full length races and the vlogs. And there's also some much larger scale plans in the works, ideas that I can't wait to share with you guys, because like I said, I always try to keep a larger scale vision in mind, and so there are some big things planned. And you know, that's pretty much what to expect with the channel, having the vlogs taking you guys behind the scenes at these tracks, highlighting the tracks, the drivers, the people that make this all happen, and taking it from there to the moon. Spectator Drags to the moon. So from there, I'd like to now show my appreciation and give a huge thank you to everyone who's put in so much effort to this point that now give me the ability to build up as a team together. And that all starts with my family. I'd like to thank my dad, who started bringing me to the races as a kid. I was even told that he used to carry me in there, which is funny, and he, you know, he put that disposable camera in my hand, and from that point it was history. But really, my family are my biggest supporters. I appreciate them a lot. And you know, I'd also like to thank the tracks, all the tracks that have built this up over the years. Seekonk Speedway, all right, the owners, the Vendetti family, the management, Ed St. Germain, Mark Labby, who with Preferred Towing, who is just put so much effort into growing and keeping the Spectator Drags alive at Seekonk Speedway over the years. I'm very appreciative of them, of all the staff and the workers at these tracks who put in all the effort that make these shows run smoothly. You know, a huge thank you goes out to Garrett Mitchell, Mr. Cleetus McFarland, and the whole team at the Freedom Factory. He is, you know, invested a lot into that track. Pretty much all of his savings, actually, as a business investment. And the fact that he is part of the really has the mission in mind to take Spectator Drags to this level as well. And the effort that they're putting in is super cool to see. I mean, in December we have the Spectator Drag Championship, the Super Bowl of Spectator Drags, 10 grand to win. And I'd like to give a huge thank you to the team there and Garrett, who are putting in that effort to make that possible. And you know, to all the tracks, really, aside from Seekonk and the Freedom Factory, all the tracks that, and like I said, this is such a small town, small track thing that is just getting the push to reach the world. And so all the tracks over the years that have had this for fun, you know, the Spectator Drags, the Circle Drags, the one-on-one drags, King of the Hill, whatever you want to call it. All the tracks that have stuck by it and have done it over the years building to this point. And there'll be so many more that hop right in line, and I'm super excited about that. And I'd also like to thank all the drivers who have come out race after race, year after year. They've gotten addicted to it. It's something they love and are passionate about, and I'd like to thank them for making this possible, putting on the show for the fans, having fun out there. And they keep coming back. They love it, and they are what keeps growing the sport. And, you know, a lot of these tracks, especially Seekonk Speedway, the reason why the Spectator Drags are thriving there is because of the people, the location that, you know, keeps these guys keep coming out for some racing. And it's a really cool thing, and I appreciate all the drivers who come out, and I can't wait to put a spotlight on them, keep growing the sport, and to give back. And this is something that, you know, is pretty overlooked, I'd say, by a lot of creators. And, you know, I'd also like to give a huge thank you to platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, who give me the ability to make this impact, to share this content with you guys, because look, I'm no special, I'm no better than anyone else. I now have the ability to do this because of the progress that, you know, the internet and these platforms have made over the years. And so I'm grateful for them, for these platforms that now give me the ability to do what I do. And I'm also grateful for, you know, I'd like to thank the other videographers who have helped grown Spectator Drags over the years. And starting off with Carbon Video, who has really made some huge strides in making this a thing and sharing Spectator Drags with the world, with his channel on YouTube, Carbon Video, filming at tracks in Maine, Beech Ridge, and Oxford. And Beech Ridge is another really important example of where our impact stands, because Beech Ridge had some of the best Spectator Drags up there around. And unfortunately, you know, the track closed this past year, got bought out, and is another example of a short track that had to, you know, had to close. And, you know, a lot of people were affected by that, and the people that enjoy the racing over the years, it's sad to see. But that's the biggest thing with Spectator Drags is when Spectator Drags go up, so do all the other divisions. You know, I know that the guys who invest so much time and energy and compete week to week with all the other divisions at these short tracks, they may, you know, they may feel a little uptight about seeing just Spectator Drags get the highlights. But here's the thing. When Spectator Drags go up and they bring this attention to these short tracks, all the divisions keep thriving. And, you know, the short tracks are able to keep in business, keep people coming, have more engagement between the fans and the drivers. And that's so cool as a whole for all the divisions to share together. And Spectator Drags is that link to taking, you know, it to the next level. And from a business standpoint, this is, you know, kind of worthy to share as well, is that, you know, I get so many awesome comments on the videos where, on tberg Media, where people love watching Spectator Drags. They can't get enough. It's better than NASCAR, respectfully. That's what, you know, you gotta listen to the people. People are power. Yes, NASCAR is a very successful business and company that has made huge strides in the automotive and motorsports racing world. And so for so many people to enjoy the Spectator Drags just as much, even more, just goes to show how much potential this has to thrive. And, you know, it's a small town, small track thing that the world is just catching on. And I couldn't be more grateful to grow together. But to continue with the thank yous, you know, I'd also, aside from the videographers who have grown this, Carbon Video, Misfit Productions, Watch the Starter, that guy, you guys know, Speedway Video at Schwano, all those big channels who have over the years just been investing in this and capturing to share with you guys. I'd like to thank them as well. And that tberg media guy. And I'd also like to thank the fans that support and keep coming back out to their local short tracks, their circle tracks, and you know, keep enjoying and being entertained and investing in those into those businesses, into the tracks. And I'd also like to thank everyone watching, everyone who's supported over the years, especially on tberg media, and showing the love from across the world. I mean, it's so cool to see the outreach, even with a smaller channel, under 10,000 subs over the years. These videos were still hitting anywhere from 20,000 to, I think the top one, just over 900,000 from 2018 views, and people that have engaged with that content, and whether they were enjoying it or hating it, they're all part of growing it. And I want to thank you guys for watching and helping as a team to get to this point. And I can't wait to start giving more back to you guys and growing together. And so with all of that said, I'd like to leave off with thanking everyone who has paved the roads up to this point so that we can race on them. Everyone who's put in the man hours, as I said, has put in all the effort, even back to when these tracks were built, growing the sport, building their businesses, you know, creating those connections with the fans, with the drivers. And I'd really like to thank everyone who have paved the road to this point so that I now have the ability to take this to the next level and share with you guys across the world as a team together, and to all the people putting in the effort now as well, making these events possible, making sure they run smoothly. And I'm very appreciative of that, and I want to thank them. I want to thank you guys. So with all of that said, I'd like to officially welcome you to the Spectator Drag Hub. I couldn't be more grateful, excited, and just happy to share this with you guys and take it to the next step. And I can't wait to grow together, like I said. And I know that was a lot to unpack. I did want to get as much as possible in this sit-down video to just connect with you guys, share kind of the intentions with the channel, you know, what to expect, a little, you know, brief description on myself, connect with you guys, like I said, and to you know, really thank everyone who's led up to this this point, and to who are really working behind the scenes to make this all possible. So welcome to the Spectator Drag Hub. Can't wait to share this with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's go racing.
New York, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont. They're all here for one reason, to put on a show.
I'm here with Mark Lab with Preferred Towing, and he is the organizer of these awesome Spectator Drag events, and we appreciate you so much, Mark.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And all the work that you put in over the years.
Can't wait to see a video. You guys do
Absolutely.
Really good work.
Thank you, Mark.
We appreciate you.
It's all together, you know, couldn't do this without you guys, and it's so cool to watch this stuff grow.
Absolutely.
Put it out for fans all across the world, man.
Yes, thanks for growing with us.
Well, yeah, ready to rip.
I appreciate all the work you do.
Yeah, thanks for coming back.
Running laps to make these events go on.
Oh, dude, it's all fun, man. It's gonna be a good one today.
Absolutely.
It's hot, though.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of competition.
Racing in the Spectator Drags, too?
Me? Oh yeah, I got the Marauder ready.
All right.
Stock Marauder.
Awesome.
I'll
I look
see you out
forward
there.
to it. Good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.